always treat it as pressure as a privilege, and I fully believe I've been in every position that I've been in for a reason, and my parents raised me in a great manner and allowed me to really handle every situation that I've been in, and they also allowed me to really be myself, which has also helped with all those expectations and everything, and balance and really being me and being
Man, me and San Fran is on the high like it's gold doves. Your career been going up and down like when shoulders shrug. No plan on using the advice you niggas giving us. If I fall, I'll just run it off like I'm Forrest Gump. Boogie down, I got you.
All right, man, we're back. Season 2, Hype Around podcast. New hosts, new guests, new laughs, new debate, all of that. Same hype season power in this thing. Shout out the gang. Frank Mansfield here, your host for the evening. I got my boy across from me, Dave, yes, Big Dave. Shout out, how you doing, man?
Good, bro. Good to be here. Good to have you.
Joining us in the building, we got a real low country football legend in here with us tonight. Put up crazy numbers in high school. Looks like he's about to do the same thing right up the road in college now. Fort D alum, Charleston Southern quarterback. Zoe Osborne, man. Appreciate you pulling up to the pod, man. How you living?
chilling, man. Appreciate y'all boy having me.
For sure, man. For sure. Zoe put up crazy numbers at Fort D, man. Let's get right into it. I think one of the tight things about Fort is at least the past probably 20 years, I feel like they've had the low country on lock, man. Just putting out GOAT after GOAT, legend after legend. So right off the rip, man, give me kind of what's your Mount Rushmore of Fort Dorchester football, man? If you got four dudes up on that mountain, man, who we putting up there of all the legends that came through recently?
You know, Carry On up there.
Got to be.
Carry On
GOAT.
the guy. Personally, I'm gonna also put Keith Dessisher up there.
I like that pick, sleeper pick for sure.
I'm gonna put myself on there.
My man,
I'm gonna put myself up there. You know,
got to.
Fourth spot. Play with some studs, man. Some studs.
It's crazy, right? You go back in the archives too, man. Y'all got a couple of Super Bowl champs that came through those hallways.
Y'all got Carlos and Robert Quinn.
Damn.
I guess I'd have to give that to Carlos, because Carlos the one that won the ship.
Super Bowl champ. You can't, you know what I mean? What can you say about that? But yeah, shout out all the guys, man. John Simpson, everybody that came through there. Robert Quinn, Byron Maxwell, man, you got a ring too. So they definitely got the strong pedigree in there, man. One of the things I always thought was dope, I feel like at least the past like 20 years, man, y'all probably had the most, I don't know, swag coming off the bus with the smoke and the different uniforms and everything, the alternate helmets and all that. Just talk about like what do you think separates Fort D, man? What kind of separated y'all when y'all were up there doing your thing in high school? What was the difference you think about the program versus what else is going on in the low country right now?
I think for us, really, it was more so the fact of like the people we had ahead of us, and we almost felt the pressure to like maintain that level each year. I know all the guys I grew up with, we was all excited. We was in middle school talking about, oh, we want to be carrying on, we want to do this, we want to do what they doing. In 2015, we was in 7th or 8th grade, and they up there winning championships as sophomores. We were like, man, our sophomore year, we want to do this, this, and this. And so I think really just wanting to maintain that level and that expectation that Fort had going was a big factor in that.
I want to kind of talk about, so I know you talked about the tradition that Fort has, and obviously like you were looking up to all these crazy athletes and stuff, but you played quarterback, obviously, and there really wasn't that dynamic though in the low country of like traditional quarterbacks pumping out every year. It's really like, if you look back over the last 10 years, you could probably count on one hand the amount of guys that signed Division I FBS. Right, so for you as a young quarterback, right, what's your mindset of like, you know, I'm gonna be the one to make it?
For me, it was really just seeing that I was different, and it was a fact of I could look up to Carry On, you know, but we're completely different people, and that's where I really learned to not compare myself to other people and really just work on myself. And my main battle was just me against me, but it was definitely different. You know, we changed the whole offense up and stuff, and we turned it more into a drop back game and slinging around as opposed to just athletes making plays around the field and doing what they do.
Right.
But yeah, it was definitely different for sure.
So how did you feel like you came into like yourself? Like obviously like you you said like they started changing stuff up, like you were looking at Carry On, obviously like y'all are completely different. Like how did you start to shape your own style? Like who maybe outside of the low country, like what quarterbacks around the country did you like look up to and like want to mold your game after?
I think freshman year, LaPratt actually gave me number 15. I didn't have a choice in that, whether anybody believes that or not. But LaPratt gave me 15, and I think that's also when Pat Mahomes was popping off.
Yeah.
And so I guess I started to model my game after him and whatnot. I guess I just kind of grew into that, and then I really just watch ball. That's it. You know, I just do what I do. I wouldn't say I really model myself after anybody specifically.
For sure.
More so just me doing me.
No, yeah, I feel it. Yeah. I mean, when I was in high school, the dude at the time was Deshaun Watson for me. Like, I grew up in Metro Atlanta area. He's from, you know, Georgia, and obviously balled out at Clemson. So, you know, like, just like in that style, like, I always wanted to be myself, and obviously, like, that's the majority of it, but I always was trying to, you know, put a little bit of a spin on it as some of like those dudes that you get to watch. That's dope, bro. That
was one of the things I always thought was cool about you, man. It seemed like you got your own kind of thing, you got your own kind of style, and it would have been easy for you to just try to follow, like you said, into Carry On's footsteps and be like him, or just stick to whatever like Fort wanted you to be like, you know what I mean? There can be pressure as a quarterback to kind of fit a certain mold or whatever. How do you kind of balance that, man, by still being like the face of a program, still being a quarterback and being able to be that dude, but still kind of keep, you know, true to yourself and still be like who you want to be?
Always treat it as pressure as a privilege, and I fully believe I've been in every position that I've been in for a reason, and my parents raised me in a great manner and allowed me to really handle every situation that I've been in, and they also allowed me to really be myself, which has also helped with all those expectations and everything, and balance and really being me and being a leader and everything of that manner. Yeah.
What do you talk with about your young guys, man? When Dave's training up all these young guys too, and I mean, I know you're giving them life advice and stuff like that too. I mean, how are you helping these young guys? I know you work with him too. Just help them find kind of like some balance between being that guy and being that face, but you know what I mean, still being yourself. I think that makes a big difference in like confidence and shit like that.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think for me, half of the battle is like helping mold these young men into who they're gonna become. Like, the quarterback stuff is awesome, and that's like, you know, that's the work we put in, but the stuff that we're talking about, like, obviously it goes way beyond that. I think the biggest thing is just kind of helping to guide them through whatever stage they're in, right? Like, I train guys that are 8 years old to guys who are, you know, 30 plus in the NFL with kids and stuff, and I think really the biggest thing is making sure that quarterbacks understand that as young men, you got to be accountable. And that's really just the main thing, the number one thing that I could relay to any quarterback is just hold yourself accountable, and everything else is going to fall into place, right? You got to be accountable to schoolwork, you know what I mean, home life, everything. Take the blame as a man, right? Like, I know, like, this is more of like a traditional view, but like, you know, that's what I believe in. You know, as a man, you're going to be the one supporting your family, and it's going to be on you, you know? And so if you can learn that at a young age, you know, as it relates to quarterback, right, your team's success is going to be on you, right? And whether, you know, you end up, you know, throwing 5 touchdowns and stuff, and y'all still lose, like, you need to still, you know, take accountability for that, and don't make excuses. So, I mean, I think that's one part of it. Another part of it is just helping them to get more confidence, and as they continue to get better and grow, and a lot of things like these kids nowadays, and not kids nowadays, just kids in general, like, they're always looking at external factors, right? They're always comparing themselves to, oh, this kid has a bunch of offers, or, you know, I want to be here right now, or why can't I throw the ball 50 yards? And it's like, you just got to fight your own fight. Just like what he was saying, like, it's you versus you. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and just helping them focus on themselves, and instead of worrying about what other people are doing too. That's another big thing that I harp on.
Speaking of being yourself, man, I feel like the hair has always been like trademark Zoe, right? I mean, you gotta own that at this point, right? Best hair on the team, best hair at Charleston Southern right now. I mean, that's always been kind of the trademark, right?
Yeah.
Flowing out the back of the helmet, got it braided up tight, right? I don't know, Braxton's in that quarterback room now too. He might be giving you a little run. I know he's a hair. Shout out my guy Braxton too. But yeah, man, we're talking a little bit about Charleston Southern. We talked about following DeCarrion, one of the GOATs. You got another GOAT, high school South Carolina GOAT up there with Schuler Bentley, man, helping coach y'all up over there. Yeah. What's it been like kind of being able to learn from him, a dude that put up crazy numbers in high school, who's been at every level, done every kind of thing, man? Just having him kind of young, too, being able to be in the room with you and coach you up.
Yeah, no, he's a very energetic guy.
Yeah.
Me, I'm a more composed person, but I remember my first couple of practices of fall camp last year, he lit into me. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
You know, kind of a wake-up call, I guess, and it's just different coaching style because, you know, at Fort we had a bunch of older, you know, people that have really been through it, and they're not going to yell so much, or that they do it's in a different manner. He's more so doing it to, like, wake up. You know, we practicing at 6 a.m. in the morning, you know, everybody up. He the main one yelling out of all the coaches on the team. But no, yeah, I think he leads the all-time record for touchdowns in South Carolina.
The numbers were crazy.
Really?
The numbers were crazy. In high school, they used to run it up.
Burns.
Yeah, Burns used to run it up. His dad was coaching. But shout out Burns, man. Back then, they were dominating back then.
Wow.
But yeah, man, I always thought that was cool being able to learn from a younger dude to put up numbers like that. You know what I mean? Be able to take some of that. Who else is kind of in your circle? Like, who else are you leaning on for guidance and stuff like that at this point in your career? Who else you kind of seeking advice from, or whatever the case may be?
I also got my guy Anthony Boone.
For sure.
Up in Charlotte. You know, I've been working out with him. He's been mentoring me since I think like freshman year. I'll go to him. We chop it up probably like after every game, every other game during the season, working on stuff. I head up there as much as I can. You know, Charlotte's just a little 3-hour drive, but just go up there, fine tune some stuff, work out with some guys that he has up there, and really just building connections 24/7. I would say my head coach, Coach G.
For sure.
He's always been a real down-to-earth head coach. I always ask him, like my team, like not my teammates, but like my homeboys and stuff that are other schools. I ask them like how close they are with their head coach, and they're like, oh no, we don't really talk to him too much. And, you know, like Coach G, like I probably talk to him every time I see his face. He's chopping up a conversation. You know, he always keeps it real friendly and real cool. So I really appreciate that out of him as a head coach.
Just kind of switching gears a little bit here. Kind of want to talk about your personal life a little bit. Like, want to know what's important to Zolten, man. Like, you know, what makes you tick? Like, what are some core values that, you know, you feel like make you who you are? Yeah, let's just start there.
I always try to keep my family first. Me and my older sister were real close. We always chopping it up on whether I got problems, she got problems. You know, we always going to each other, hanging out with each other, going shopping and stuff. And then my parents, I always try and go see my parents at least once a week. You know, I'm pretty close to home. Being at Charleston Southern, I'm only like 15 minutes from the crib, so that's a blessing in itself, honestly. And then spending time with my little sister and stuff like that too.
That's dope, man. That's cool. So kind of, you know, I see you, you know, on Instagram and stuff, popping it a little bit. You feel me with the fashion stuff, like swaggy dude. Like, where you get your fashion sense from? Like, you talk a little bit about that.
Really just I've kind of pulled bits and pieces from every different people I see, whether it's on Pinterest or TikTok or Instagram itself. But really, I see something I like, I'm gonna find a piece. I see a shirt I like,
put that shit on,
a piece, and just vibe out.
For sure, that's dope. When we look at like music and stuff, like who you got top, you know what I'm saying, top artists, you got a main dude, who you listen to?
What's the playlist look like before the game?
Playlist. Hold on,
all right, that's a different. All right, we'll do with both of them.
Yeah,
go ahead.
My top guy is Cole, J. Cole.
Okay. Yeah.
He's been my guy for I don't even know how long. He's always been my GOAT. If I go top 3 though, I probably go like Cole. Right now, V's, and then probably Frank Ocean at my 3rd.
Hey, sleeper pick on the end, my God.
Who put you on V's?
I've really been on Detroit rap. I really put myself on, to be honest. It was probably on like Spotify or something. Spotify does like the random shuffle and it adds random songs. And I was like, that's popping. And then like you got V's, Rio, Babyface, Ray, all of them. They smooth.
Yeah, they're tough for sure. Cause you know I was up in Central Michigan, so I was up there with all the Detroit boys. So that's how I got put on the Detroit rap. It's tough for sure. They be talking crazy.
Yo, saying you put yourself onto something is a crazy ass answer. Nah, I fuck with that for sure. What about the playlist though, man? Like, what's it like before game? What are we're getting in that zone? What are we listening to?
Y'all gone. It's different now.
For sure, it's got to be.
I would listen to Lauryn Hill before games. I have Lauryn Hill blasting in my headphones. Everybody else listening to drill music and stuff like that. I'm out there just vibing, playing Lauryn Hill before the game, doing my little warm up and just doing me.
You're looking for like a smoother vibe. That looks like it fits you too.
I mean, that makes sense. Like you say you're more of a composed dude, like you're a chill guy, like you're not a rah-rah type of guy, so that makes sense. And I guess that kind of leads into another question that I have, right? Like, you know, as quarterbacks, like obviously you got to be the leader of the locker room, leader of the team, you know, and a lot of dudes are, like you see Pat Mahomes, like he's always yelling, always, you know, getting into something, and a lot of those guys are, but there are a lot of quiet leaders too. So I guess how do you kind of go about being a quiet leader? Like what's that look like for you?
For me, it's always been more so leading by example, doing what needs to be done, and then in situations where we're running conditioning and somebody's on a knee, like, hey man, get up.
Right.
But I'm not gonna sit here and yell at somebody. But I mean, if it's squat day and we maxing out, I'll be there yelling with everybody for sure.
Yeah, gotta have the energy.
But other than that, I'm not gonna be sit there yelling at nobody because, you know, I don't really care to be yelled at, so I'm not gonna go sit there and yell at another man.
Yeah.
But I would say just leading by example and doing what needs to be done.
For sure. No, that makes sense. I guess what kind of, you may get that too, because like you mentioned, you know, Coach LaPrade, a GOAT, like what kind of leader was he?
He'd have his days, you know, he'd have his moments where he flipped the switch and probably say stuff you wouldn't expect for old LaPrade to say. But, you know, he could get electric at times, and times right there, you need to talk to him. But he was always a good leader in that aspect of everything.
For sure, that's dope. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to, you know, ever work with him or anything, but I'm coaching at Oceanside now, and his son Bryant is there, and obviously he's a electric dude. He's tough. You talk a little bit about your relationship with him.
He's a great guy. He's almost more of like an older brother than me,
for sure.
To be honest. So my freshman year, Coach Ian Rafferty, he was the offensive coordinator, and then him and Coach Sharpie, he was the quarterback coach whenever I was a freshman for it. They both went over to Somerville. Raf took the head coach job, Sharp took the quarterback coach job over there. And Coach Bryant moved from D coordinator to O coordinator and quarterback coach. And that's where our connection really just sparked. He brought along a whole new offense, whole different scheme. We had somebody from Texas come flying and install it or some crazy stuff. And then, but yeah, I was over at their house learning a new playbook and chopping it up and learning this and this and this. Yeah, it was always a very beneficial and positive relationship.
That's dope. Yeah, so you kind of talked about like learning the playbook and stuff. I want you to kind of, for all the rising, you know, freshmen in college and stuff like that, just kind of talk about what your experience has been like learning a college playbook and getting used to it and all that kind of stuff. Like, talk about the mental side of the game for quarterbacks.
It's completely different, clearly from everybody else. You know, it's not, oh, I'm at receiver, I'm at Z, I know I got to do this one thing. I got to line up and run this one route, or I got to block this one guy. It's, oh, you got to know what the X, Y, Z, A, Y, the running back doing. You got to know what the O-line slide into. Right. You got to know everything that's going on. Then you got to look at the defense. You got to know what the defense doing. You got to have some type of picture going on in your head about that. But I would say really coming into it, because, so fall camp, my freshman year was when we really started like installing playbooks. I got to start practicing and whatnot. Honestly, just being thrown into the fire, that's what really made everything start clicking for me, because I'm more of a I got to do something to learn.
Right.
I can't just look at the board and, you know, picture everything in my mind perfectly. I got to get out there, maybe mess up a couple times, and then it's, oh, I'm not messing up no more. I'm doing this the right way. But yeah, physical reps, even if you got to go out there, throw your receivers 10 times, and, you know, he's got this route or whatever y'all call it. It could be like a bench route, and you just don't know the routes yet. You know, doing that was definitely very beneficial for me.
For sure. And so then you kind of mentioned it a little bit about being thrown into the fire. So obviously you got to play as a true freshman, right, which is incredible at any Division I level. And then to have the success that you did, obviously getting named, you know, Freshman of the Week for the whole conference, different times, and just the success that you were able to have. Talk a little bit about going in, being thrown into the fire, and then actually playing being successful. Like, what was your mindset coming to Charleston Southern in the beginning? How did things change, or if they did? And then just talk a little bit about, you know, what it was like playing as a freshman.
I'll say coming into it, I knew there was potential for me to start. I started as a freshman in high school and still had to really do the same thing. It was almost like the same process over again, you know. Didn't start top of the depth chart. I started 4th on the depth chart at CSU this year. I was on scout team. It was my first time ever being on scout team. I was like, dang, bro, I don't like this. But yeah, so I was on scout team, I think week 1, week 2, and then they ended up bumping me up. And then I got my first start. First start was against Clemson. Or not my first start. My first reps was against Clemson. I came in like 4th quarter. Last 2 or 3 drives they put me in, and that was an unreal experience. And then
it was at Clemson?
Yeah, it was at Clemson.
Man, that's lit.
In Death Valley. Crowd wasn't the same as the beginning of the game.
Of course.
But no, it was definitely still fire. And then my first start was against Western Carolina the following week, I believe. And we got killed like 70-something to 20-something. Their offense was just popping last year. They were putting up like 2019 LSU numbers in the beginning of the season. And then first home start, we got the win against, I believe it was like Kennesaw or something. But it's all been a true blessing, to be honest, to being able to be a freshman and for them to give me the opportunity to play as a freshman, because a lot of schools, we're not playing a freshman quarterback the first year. But no, they gave me the opportunity. And I was very blessed in that in itself, and then just being able to succeed in the way that I did was also another blessing.
Yeah, and then obviously like leading into, you know, kind of the finale of your freshman year, which obviously ended in a way that, you know, nobody ever wants to happen. Can you kind of talk about that moment? Like, first off, tell us what happened.
Running out of bounds. It was a design rollout play. I think it was like a smash concept or something, smash switch, something like that. And rolling out of bounds. And one of our other injured players he's standing outside of the box, you know, if you know.
Right, he's supposed to be in the box.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in the box. But no, he's standing outside the box. I'm running out of bounds, and I just take a little 1-2 to get around him. And my knee pops. I felt it instantly. It tore my ACL and my meniscus. I was on the ground. It didn't hurt in the moment. It was more so a fact of like, dang, like
you knew it was
I knew, yeah. And I just knew what it was and the future process that it was going to uphold that was ahead of me. Just all started hitting that moment. Being in that tent, everything just really like hit.
Yeah. So, and then after that, obviously, like you've done a great job. We got a chance to work out. You looked awesome. You know what I mean? So I guess for all the kids out there that go through ACL injuries and, you know, they tear stuff and have to go through, you know, long surgery recovery process, I guess what was your mindset approaching that? And then like just throughout the whole process, like how did your mind change?
It was always a day-by-day thing. It's still a day-by-day thing. You know, I sat down with my PT and our team, doctor and our what do they call it? The trainer? Oh, the leader, trainer, athlete.
Yeah, the head.
We all sat down. We were like, look, August 1st. August 1st, our day is our day. Whether we're a little bit ahead, a little bit behind, that's our day. That mark, that's the 9-month mark, and that's where we want to be. So it's just been a day-by-day thing. Whether it's bending my knee 10 degrees or it was lifting it up 5 centimeters or starting to get on the bar and squat again or being able to run again, it was always taking that next step forward.
Makes you appreciate the little things.
It really does. My first couple weeks back running and stuff, I was running everywhere because it was like, man, like just being stuck and not being able to do anything. It was a rough space.
Yeah, no doubt. And then I guess like, so what would you say to, you know, an athlete right now that's watching this, that's going through an ACL recovery or shoulder surgery, whatever the case is, like what would you say to them to kind of encourage them?
Run your own race. You know, we had a guy on the team towards ACL, I think it was like last spring. I think he was back squatting like 400, 500 pounds the same time that I'm just starting to run.
Right.
So it's like I can't compare myself to him and be like, dang, man, I should be squatting 300 pounds right now while he's doing this. But no, it was always just running my own race, putting your own foot in front of your other, and not worrying about the next man.
For sure. That's good. And then I guess the last thing, like, you seem like a really well put together young man. Like, it seems like you got your head on really straight. And like, even in moments of like crisis, like obviously like with your injury and stuff, it seems like you were able to, you know, stay positive and stuff. I guess, what would you attribute that to?
Definitely my parents and the way they grew me up and raised me. I have both of my parents. I'm very blessed to have my mom and my dad around 24/7. My dad was a hardworking blue-collar dude. Really look up to him in that manner. He's still like 43 years old and goes out and does auto glass in the hot heat every day.
Right.
So my mom and my little sister can have a nice roof over their head. And so really him in that factor, and I know he's got his ups and downs. Everybody got their ups and downs, and just that's my ups and downs, you know. Just like I said, doing my own thing.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it, man. Like, life moves in phases, like, you know what I mean? Like, the phase that you're in now is not always gonna last. Like, the way you're feeling in this moment, in this phase, like, it's not gonna be that way. You know, if you just continue to push through and be positive, like, you're always gonna be able to come out of it on top. That's dope. So then I guess, where are you now in terms of your recovery, and like, what's it looking like for this season?
For this season, they just cleared me for fall camp. I'm not completely cleared at all, but they cleared me for fall camp, meaning quarterbacks are non-contact during fall camp, so I'm still non-contact. But I'll be able to do all the practices, everything with the team. I was able to do all the summer workouts and everything with the team. So I'm really, I'd say I'm about like 80%. Right now it's just a factor of getting pure strength and muscle back into it and passing this biodex test.
So I guess then my next question is, I guess, you know, the easy question would be, who are your top 5 favorite quarterbacks? But we can't do that. We got to go. What are your top 5 sleeper quarterbacks? So just top 5 quarterbacks, college, NFL, just dudes that you just respect or who you think are tough. They could be well known, but
No,
who you got?
Top 5. It really probably ain't gonna be in no order.
No order.
But it's just gonna be 5 guys. I got Lenore Sellers up in South Carolina.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna be taking over the starting role this year. I feel like he might really pop off on something for real. And then let's see. I've always liked Caleb Williams, but he's not really underrated.
Right, no doubt.
And 5 is crazy.
But let's pause real quick right there. Let's pause. So you mentioned Caleb Williams. So that's who your pick is for best rookie quarterback this year. Obviously this class.
Best rookie quarterback.
Yeah, because it's him.
I'll go him.
Yep.
Over Drake and Penix. And, yeah.
Okay. Word. What about Jaden Daniels?
Jaden Daniels. He's up. I'll put him at 2.
Yeah.
I'll put him at 2.
All right, I feel you. All right, getting back to the top 5 sleepers. You got Lenoris, Young Goat, Caleb. Who else?
No, I can't think of him.
Word, that's all good.
Osborne, man, sleeper for this year. Actually not, dog. Preseason player to watch, right? They're not really sleeping on you, I guess. That's crazy.
Not sleeping.
So obviously, man, Olympics starting up, man. If you were going to play an Olympic sport, what's Zoe playing in the Olympics? There's no football in there now. So what are you going to the Olympics to represent the country?
Probably going in there to hoop.
Yeah, you're a hooper, right? What are you playing?
Me, shoot.
You hooping?
Nah, I'm tragic at basketball. You don't even want to see me pick one up. I don't know. Is baseball an Olympic sport?
It is, right? Isn't baseball an Olympic sport?
I don't think so.
USA
we might
baseball?
have to check.
I don't think that is.
We might have to check that one.
They definitely got like a world game, so you can get in there one way or another. You might not get the Olympic medal, but you're out there.
Put me on the 400.
Oh, okay, my God, yeah, for sure.
Track background.
That's a long little race right there.
That's a couple times, right?
Probably best way I could get in, man. I'm just a straight slinger.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it for sure.
What about you?
Oh, shit, I'm trying to get on that basketball team. I'll just ride the pine, dog. Let me get that gold. I'm down to do whatever. I didn't realize you were a hooper too, man.
Yeah, no, I played it growing up till probably about middle school. I hooped, and I played baseball too. Baseball was really my first love, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Quarterback.
Yeah.
You pitch?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
We had a crazy team. playing with PJ Morlando, the kid that
Yeah,
just
for
signed.
sure.
Damn.
Shout out PJ, just got drafted.
And then Cam Scott.
Shout out Cam Scott. Y'all did have a crazy
Yeah,
team.
it was crazy.
The baseball team?
Man. Yeah.
That's tight. Y'all all went on to do some other stuff, man. That's cool, for sure. All right, man, so NCAA just dropped. You on the games at all?
Most definitely.
Who you running with? Who's the team you're taking?
Right now, I've been running with Southern Cal.
Let's go.
They only rank like 25th or something. I still haven't used like a top 5 team.
Can't do it.
Nah, like
That's lame.
that's not no fun.
Yeah,
you
it's
feel me?
lame.
So it's just like, yeah, but no, I've been using Southern Cal. I really just like their offense in the way that it's called on there, to be honest. They got RPOs in the game or
OP.
I don't know what.
Who's the best player on the team on Charleston Southern? Who's running the games up there?
College football?
Yeah, if it's you, it's you.
It might be me.
Chill out.
It might be me. We've been playing too much, to be honest.
Yeah, I hear you. I bet y'all are having fun, man. When we getting that Charleston Southern pack, dog? When's Zoe coming on there with the hair flowing out the back of the helmets? It's gonna be crazy.
I wish I could.
Oh, they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it right.
I wish we knew.
Who you running with on there, man?
Man, so just like him, I don't like using none of the top teams. I feel like that's lame. I stick with the tier 3 teams or tier 1 teams. So wait, which one is it? The three, right? For the worst ones? Yeah. I go with Liberty, bro. I feel like
that's our offense, so I was running that a little bit.
Yeah, Liberty is tough on their quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He got like 90 speed, Salter, and then they got all the zone read QB runs, like. So that's who I've been running with. But really, I've been just grinding on the dynasty mode, bro. Like I just
build it, man.
I've been on the dynasty.
I've been, Central Michigan. So
Central Michigan got Dave Moore at quarterback going crazy.
We getting 5 stars in there. I mean, all type of shit. Yeah, I love it. That's the best part for me. Like, and then I'm like that at Madden. Like I was like that at Madden last year, top 500. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or get like that. But bro, my cheat to get good at the game, bro, I don't play online until I'm smoking the computer on the hardest level every time. So like, I don't even start playing online like head to head, nothing until I'm scoring every time on offense versus all Madden, and I'm stopping them on defense every time. And then when I get online, I just start cooking. So that's me, man. So I've been grinding dynasty mode, and then I'm gonna get online eventually, for sure.
Respect, man. Hey, for sure. Well, yo, this has been dope, man. I appreciate you stopping by. As a low country guy, everybody in the town's pulling for you, man. Excited to see what you guys got going on out there this season. Love that you still got some eyes on you. Seems like your head's still on straight, man, after everything ups and downs last year and like that. So, yeah, man, we're looking forward to it, man. Much love. Appreciate you pulling out, man, for sure.
Yeah, appreciate that, bro.
Let's do it.
All right, man. Good shit. Appreciate you.
How'd it go, man? All right?
Man, me and San Fran is on the high like it's